Okay. I'm not sure if this is a Discord League game or Clan Wars. I see Chess Box, so Clan Wars. I guessed right. Cool. Got in a little late. Doesn't look like we've missed much. Uh, Poogin flipped a governor spy in a storehouse. Crane did a bunch. Doji diplomats. Um, what do we got? There was a Doji challenger, diplomat, storehouse, Kaizen, cunning negotiator. Uh, what happened to the Kaizens? Governor spy. I'm not sure what's happened to the Kaizens. It looks like they got turned down from Governor Spy. Okay, so Governor Spy turned stuff face down, so presumably there's a Stoke that's going to be coming sooner rather than later. Courteous greeting bowed. Gaijin custom straightened, and they broke. I'm going to do a quick search for deck lists real quick. Um, You'd think I'd save these at some point, but that's just never going to happen. We have Poogin and Osan. So that one, and how the hell did I miss Poogin? Poogin, there we go. Okay, what do we see? We saw a break on courteous greeting. And then magistrate ready to challenge her. Okay, so we're seeing Crane do Crane things. The question is if Scorpion can do Scorpion things. Oh, let's see. Cash, effective deception, so Seeker of Earth, interesting. 3 crab cards for ceaseless duty. So this is definitely trying to get as much value out of Stoke as possible. Over on the Crane side, Sumer Richrug, I believe this is just a straight up diplomat deck. And that is kind of what it's looking like to me. Okay. We can tab between things and see as we need to. So Osan immediately got some Stoke Insurrection. Seems like definitely the thing to do. I hope no one is offended by my drinking, and if you are, too bad. So we definitely see Osan getting off to a much better start than Poogin. The Governor Spy can keep Osan locked pretty well. Unfortunately, with Magistrate Station up, it's kind of in the hard times land. Osan does not attack. That's interesting. I'm not sure I follow why. Okay, so we have 2 Kaizens from last turn, a Veterans and a Cunning Negotiator, plus a Favorable Ground and a Proving Ground. We have Dispatch, Alibi Artist, and Loyal Challenger, and another Governor Spy. It's not looking too shabby. Governor Spy is definitely going to do a whole bunch of work keeping the dojos and proving grounds and tea houses turned face down, which can and will make a fairly large difference in this game, as evidenced by the fact that we see another Governor Spy get bought with 3 Fate. Poogin carrying a bunch of fate into the conflict phase. Both players bid 5. Definitely wanting to land that Stoke Insurrection. Make sure that notification. Okay, cool. I am up to speed. So, the Veterans and the Cunning Negotiator. There's a way of the Crane on Kikita Kaizen. And a Hunting Falcon, so Osan should have close to full knowledge now. Definitely Secret Cache is where he's not going to go. Revels is kind of rough. I guess the question is, what can Poogin find with a Stoke Insurrection? There's 3 face-down cards. The Veterans isn't super great, nor is the Cunning Negotiator. Well, Cunning Negotiator is okay. The provinces aren't super great for Poogin to use. And Veterans is just understated. And definitely relies on the face-up provinces to get the glory boost and buff when honored. Stolen Breath, so Kaizen can't do political. What other wacky attachments is Poogin running? Nothing else terribly surprising. Over here is basically discard 2 cards. Geisha House, 1 Curse Catcher. Okay. Oh, looks like Poogin is gonna definitely get a break. That is super important. Magistrate Station needs to go away. And we're going to see Governor Spy trigger and put all the super bad cards on the station so they go away, and it'll also give him really good knowledge on Stoke targets. Pardon me. This is a very large swing. Stolen Breath is going to stop them from participating at all, so the favorable ground isn't going to do anything. And it definitely makes things a little awkward for the attack. Kind of surprised he didn't go for an Earth Ring or for a Void Ring here, because then he could force an attack at the Dispatch to nowhere, which could be useful if it's a secret cache. There's no defense. There's the pass. There's a Governor Spy, and so now we're going to see what gets stacked where. This is political, so we could also see Spies at Court, which will make the Earth Ring, or which will make this conflict super pillage Osan's hand. So this could be a very, very key turn for Poogin to get back into it. I have to assume there's some number of Voice of Honors. Yeah, there's 3 of them in the deck, so Stoke may not land, but Forgery is turned on. He has loaded up Magistrate Station. So this is clearly a whole bunch of problem cards are going away. Does Osan run any conflict characters? No conflict characters, just movement in, which does nothing here. This is 5 cards going away. this is kind of big. He's really going to take his hand to pieces here. So over here is going to take him to 7. Earthring will take him to 6, and I'm willing to bet there's a... Ooh, hits a Voice of Honor. That's really good. I'm assuming there's a Spies at Court coming as well. This is going to be big. Just killing the Magistrate Station by itself with 5 cards on it is big, but he is definitely going the distance on this one. Wear the Crane, Formal Invite. What all did he discard? Because they were all face down. 2 veterans, a dojo. So there's still a Proving Grounds and a Favorable Ground. And he loses a Defender Honor from the Earth Ring. That was a huge swing. Kyuden Bayushi, clearly going to be used to stand the Governor Spy if necessary. Kaizen's going to do a good job of defending here. I don't go in Fire Ring to honor the Governor Spy, so it can't stand. But he hit Effective Deception, so Stoke is definitely going to land now. Which can be big. Decides to defend with 1 spy. That tells me he plans on winning. Because otherwise he's going to lose a Straighten. Oh, I could just be entirely wrong. This honors a Governor Spy. That feels a little strange. Because now I imagine there's going to be... So you've seen Suma, Rich Frog, and Magistrate Station, so Shameful and Pursuit. I'm going to bet Pursuit's under a box. So Military Conflict, Air. I kind of would have gone Void, because then you can definitely kill the Doji Challenger. If there's a Stoke coming, it's... Oh, he just wanted money. Okay. Poogin playing Keiji with resources. That leaves Secret Cache and Midnight Rebels as the places to attack into for Osan, which is not super great, because that's super easy to manipulate to always being on. I expect both players are going to continue to bid 5 here. Poogin wants to get down to 6 for the Ally Artist, and Osan definitely needs to make up the card disadvantage that he is now wildly suffering at, and all he's left with is a Hotaru. And on Pugin's side, we see the 3rd Governor Spy and a Buki and an Alibi Artist. There's a Hotaru with 3, so Crane is continuing to do Crane things. So I think what we're going to run Challenger in Military, probably at Secret Cache. The problem is these, while Poogin is keeping Osan basically locked out of meaningful buys, these continued the provinces living there forever are really devaluing Stoke. I expect we'll see the Governor's Spy purchased, and then an alibi artist, and an attempt to keep that governor spy honored so Ibuki's not a potato when she comes out. Nope, they're just going to go. Yep, both players bid 5. Pretty sure Crane's not running an assassinate. They are not. I wonder if Poogin's just having a bit of lag, or if he's got some draw phase shenanigans. Pardon me. Nope, just taking his time. There's Challenger. I think you go. Yeah, Void's a good one. Keeps your Challenger safe. Military, because you will have a significantly easier time winning this. And does go at cash. Not sure what Poogin can do. He's got half of his deck in his hand. So we can tab over and take a look and see what is useful, and not a whole lot to actually stop any of that. So here we're going to take a look at what could possibly be stoked. The scary thing for Osan is if Poogin has the 3rd Stolen Breath, assuming he is running 3 of them, and he is, because that means it's never free break, and Osan's locked out of a conflict. Both spies defend, which is kind of fine. They can both be stood up if necessary. Sadako comes down. What are we going to see? Calling in favors on the katana. Will be a fairly large. Nope. We see a bonsai on the Doji Challenger. Probably see a forgery on that, would be my guess. And because Poogin sensors are turned off. Nope, plays his own fine katana. Calling in favors would be an enormous swing. Nope, we see never katana come down, so cash is no longer breaking. And the Doji Challenger gets a new name. It's kind of a big deal for cash not to break this turn. What's Poogin running on his box? Oh, he takes the new name. And not the katana. Oh, because he's already got 2 katanas. Makes sense. Which does put him at 1 above winning. And Pilgrimage is on his box. Which always feels kind of weird. Negating ring effects on the box seems like it'd be really good, but sometimes it just doesn't do enough. Favored mount on Kaizen, so he's going to make an appearance. Pass. Kaizen will definitely put it to breaking. I don't expect we'll see his dual fire off. Although Sadako now is quite sizable. She's at 9. It is an unfortunate pass. I say unfortunate. I'm main Scorpion, so I'm always a little biased towards them. Cash breaks, dispatch goes away. I think you definitely... Oh, he avoids the Governor Spy. So now Poogin goes political water with the alibi artist. Instead we see a Kyuden Bayushi stand on Sadako. Which rings? I think you go. Oh no, there's a Gaijin Customs. So that's. Oh no, we see a Forged Edict on that Customs. Otherwise, it forces a political attack. Water Ring's good for 2 fate. I don't know. I think Poogin might be in a little bit of a rough spot here. Fire Ring is the best you have to dissuade, or at least make a political swing back manageable. But that leaves you with 1 fate, which isn't enough to do anything. You know, there's a Steed of Steps that you can't do anything about, so the challenger is going to stand. So now honestly now you go political water, right, and take the fate, because it doesn't matter. Either Hotaru defends. Really, military. I guess he is bigger than the challenger. I would like the political attack more, because that forces the Hotaru to either... He threw the game by discarding the Kakita Dojo from the station. Why was... Oh, okay. You would have had a complete lock on political conflicts. Yeah, Hotaru triggers water, but then neither Kaizen nor the challenger can participate in conflicts, in political conflicts. Yeah, a spy lock in that situation would have been really good. Yeah, locking him down to 4 provinces with no... oh, no, there's a stolen breath. So we are going to see another break here. It definitely buys him a turn. Only problem is that there's a big old military swing coming at him next turn. And he's going to have 7 on the box. I don't know if that's 7. She's a 9. Problem is Challenger and Kaizen are 15. So it's definitely he's going to be hard pressed to defend this. Duelist training on Kaizen. That's going to make things even more awkward. Second dispatch does save him, or at least puts him back into a defendable position. I think we're just going to see Osan empty his hand here. No, emptied it as much as he could. Problem is, well, he got rid. He got rid. Sorry, that just sounds weird. Of 1 card, chooses not to discard it. Osan loses a Wealth of the Crane. It feels like Poogin is turning off Stoke Insurrections. He pitches his Ibuki and Governor Spy. There's a Kaizen dupe. That doesn't especially matter. Shadowstalker. There's a second dispatch. That is definitely going to keep. He's for sure locked now. So if Osan can, or not, if Poogin can defend successfully, he is going to be in a good position because he can just move whatever that face down card is to the province he's breaking. So Doji Challenger eats it. There's a Voice of Honor. Do we see the counter? Oh no! He should have bought a manipulator if he has an edict in hand. That's rough. That is super rough. Yeah, I'm assuming he's got an edict in hand since we've only seen the one and everyone was dishonored. He should have bought the manipulator first. Yeah, that was a big one. So box is finally turned on. Alibiotis is turned on. Shadowstalker gets buffed. So Poogin should have access to all the cards he can possibly have access to. Yeah, I think playing the dispatch first was not the way to go. I definitely think buying a manipulator, so if you have a forced edict that's turned on, then popping storehouse, then killing the challenger, because there was nothing he could do besides that voice to save the challenger. Political water here, so he's going to get the free break. So the challenger is going to get bowed. Magistrate station's broken, so it's definitely clutching at straws to win here. The challenger getting bowed. Problem is he is playing Gaijin Customs. Favorable ground's gone though, so he can't move it in. We've seen 2 customs and 1 steed. And we have, so that was the only steed, and so he has no more stands out of unicorn here. So Poogin might survive, and surviving here kind of means he wins. There's a Katana on Hotaru, so he's going to be coming with 7, 15, plus presumably a duel to honor Hotaru. And I mean, yeah, it could be the wrinkliest brain move ever to burn the voice on that. Um, chooses not to discard the card. Okay, so he's definitely wanting to lock him in place. Challenger gets bowed, so Poogin has the stats on table to defend, right? Because that's going to be 13 plus the 7 is 20. And oh no, Osan saying he should have saved the voice. Maybe it was like a 3000 IQ play. I still would have preferred to, because if he had drawn a Forged Edict or had a manipulator for Forged Edict, Osan still would have burned the voice on it. I mean, Poogin definitely has a huge card advantage here. It's basically 6-1 cards. Osan has to go all in to defend, but the problem is then Sadako stands off of Kyuden Bayushi. I mean, super smart and super dumb is an awful fine line between the two, and it usually just depends on how it shakes out in the end. So it could very well be that at the end of this, it wound up being super smart because he won. And if he loses, then it may have been super dumb. But looking at how things are shaping up here, I have to imagine out of the 19 cards he has in his hand, he's going to have more pumps. The duelist training, ask him after the game. So the duelist training can bow out 4 at the most. Kaizen can send himself home if things are looking bad, so Poogin is not super likely to just auto-win this turn. Yeah, it is a risk-reward thing, but the result of that gamble really comes down, like the judgment of that gamble relies on the outcome of things afterwards. We see Osan play a Bonsai on Kaizen. I imagine there's going to be a cancel here, because even just canceling this will basically nullify this conflict. And there's a forgery. Defend your honor of Hotaru versus Sadako, so 8-9. I think if you're Poogin, you bid fairly high here, or possibly just outright cancel this. Nope, no cancels. I think we're going to see a bid to win. Both players bid 5. So Hotaru gets honored, but that's still just off. Allied by Artist is going to look for answers. Yeah, that was really just for Kyuden Kakita, but at the same time, he bid to win it, so he kind of wanted the effect to go through as well. If he just wanted the KK, he would have bid 1. RTO. If there's a cancel, I would play it on this. And there's a forgery for that. Edict would have been a little sketchy because then the manipulator gets zeroed out and pilgrimage is then breaking. I expect we're going to see the Kaizen duel to eject himself. So Kaizen's a 7. No, that's game because Poogin gets to pick, so he would pick the Shadow Stalker. Well, no, because she's now a reasonable military force. So Osan can trigger the Kaizen duel to eject himself, and at least put up a defense against the oncoming Sadako. I mean, he has mathematically infinite more cards, and 3 fate, probably up to 4. And probably Pursuit of Justice. Well, if it's Pursuit of Justice on the box, maybe not, because there is, well, there's only one favored mount, so he doesn't need to eject here. Oh, we see Duelist Training. That is not Kaizen's duel, that's Duelist Training duel. This will force Poogin to play cards, unless he just outright bids to win this. It definitely feels like this is Poogin bid 5 to 3. Manipulator's been used, so he's at 7. He's at, hang on, math is hard. So Osan bid to win. Pays for it in honor, or in cards, not honor. Pitches an assassination and stoke insurrection. There's a Tessin he's had for quite a long while. To stand. So here, I think you're right. I think it is better to eject, because if there is a calling in favors, the favored mount goes away, and then you're kind of hyperboned. As it is, it'd be 9 to 7, so there would need to be some kind of force pump to break. But again, 15 to 0 cards. I definitely think Osan should eject here, or at least try to trigger the eject. Although with that Tessin, this is definitely a really odd board state. So there's a Kaizen duel to Sadako, so Poogin is okay with ejecting. Poogin can choose the rat. What do you mean, choose the rat? So there's a Kaizen eject. So Sadako is going to stand. KB will take her to 10. Because of Pilgrimage and DT being down, Osan. Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, I definitely think forcing the, oh no, there's a second Tessin. I think that basically spells it out. Yeah, Hotaru remaining standing definitely would have been worse, so Poogin saw the correct option there to force Kaizen to eject. So he's going to be swinging in with 10, 16 to 7. So we're looking at 12. So I think he breaks with just what's on table, and now he's just playing out all the cards he hasn't gotten to play all game. Misplayed his katanas. Yeah, I mean, putting the katanas on Kaizen would have made him bigger, but then Poogin just would have lost the duel and sent everyone else home. So I don't think that would have made any kind of difference. Because Kaizen's duel lets the defender choose a participant. So he would have just picked the Shadow Stalker and sent Sadako and the Manipulator home. And would have just, I think that still would have been enough to stop a break. Yep, Poogin said he's lucky because he drew 3 stolen breaths. I don't think anyone in the history of L5R has ever said they were lucky for drawing 3 of those. But that was the game. It definitely looked like it was in Osan's favor at the start, and then I think the relentless yeah, it would have made a difference with Defend Your Honor. Well, no, because then it still would have been canceled and Hotaru wouldn't have been honored, so he wouldn't have gotten the +3 military. Anyways, they made the decisions they made. Lord knows I would not have made anywhere near as good decisions. But the governor's spy definitely, I think, carried the game there, keeping Osan locked out of any kind of meaningful buys. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me, and the Jigoku Invitational's fixing to start, and I am going to be streaming as many games of that as I can. I look forward to that. It'll be fun. A lot of good games, a lot of good matchups. So keep an eye out for the announcements for when streams are going on. Take care.